Hey everybody, welcome back live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive. Hope you're all doing okay out there. We got ourselves a music show in our Newburyport studios today. Very excited about this. A first-time guest on the show out of Boston, Jessye DeSilva, accompanied by our friend Alex from Old Tom. You guys ready to go? Take one away to here, get us started.
Ourselves outside of Eden, east of August, short on fuel, pulled the car into a field of fireflies. The cicadas sang in on a sweet late summer night, where the music makes you high, your hand in mine like heaven fell to earth, the way you see me now, like I've known you all my life. Half a lifetime spent receiving, saying sorry, feeling small. Now you catch me humming to the radio, and you're tapping on the window right along, on a sweet late summer night, where the music makes you high, your hand in mine like heaven fell to earth, the way you see me now, like I've known you all my life. Soaking up the summer evenings, jars of fireflies, purple sunset days are fleeting, just a space in time, soaking up the summer evening, jars of fire high, your hand in mine, purple sunset days are fleeting, just a space in time.
Nicely done. Jessye DeSilva in the house alongside Alex from Old Tom. Hey everybody, how we doing? Sounding good.
What's up?
Good to, Alex, good to see you again. Jessye, good to meet you. First time on the show.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about you here over the, well, Alex, of course, speaks highly of you, but through the circles. I've been meaning to have you on for a while here. This is
Thank you
great.
very much.
Thanks for coming in. Did you find the place okay?
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
I give fantastic directions. All right, so you're East Boston right now. You play. Where can people find you? You out in the Boston scene mostly, or all around really?
All around. I play Boston a couple times a year. I like to tour around the northeast, southeast area.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll be in Memphis next week.
Oh.
Nashville.
We have actually a Gloucester show this Friday.
At the Cut.
Oh, Gloucester's playing the
I don't
Cut.
know when this is airing, but
the Friday show at the Cut?
Yeah.
Very nice.
With Mr. Fox.
Awesome.
what time is it, Mr. Fox?
What time is it, Mr.
Oh,
Fox?
cool. That's a great room.
It just says Mr. Fox. On the day sheet, it just says Mr. Fox. They lied to us.
Fox confusion. That room was fantastic. I have seen it. I have not seen a show, but I was there the grand opening night, and I liked the whole concept of like the tables. Have you seen it yet?
No.
No, just pictures.
So their goal was to do like tables on the outside, so a nice listening room, elevated tables, which is even nicer, and then, but for people that like want to be up on their feet and dance, they have like a little pit area, which is kind of lovely.
We got a
mosh
pit.
I don't know if they've had a mosh pit yet, but I do know it's a pit.
Pride. Now shove each other.
So somebody's gonna jump off a stage now into the crowd.
It won't be me.
Could be.
Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, I think you'll like it. Again, I haven't seen a show there, but I've heard the people that have played there that I know they enjoyed it. So
Cool.
I would imagine.
I've only heard good things about that venue since it's popped up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That place was so mobbed on that grand opening night. I was a very hungry man after a long day. I needed something to eat.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even get to the bar. There were so many people in there.
Oh, no.
And the poor bar staff, I don't even know if they had a full bar staff yet. It was like, opening night.
Yeah.
Like I literally just cut the ribbon on the thing and they were like, yeah, we're going to have a night. Like the staff is probably like, okay.
Who was playing?
It wasn't even a show. It was just like an invite of people in the music industry who want to hang out and get tours of the place, and it was.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was fun. But yeah, I eventually had to run to somewhere else in Gloucester because I was like, I need a sandwich.
I don't know. Gloucester's got a cool little scene.
It really does,
Yeah.
doesn't it? We've had a few people say that a few times. It's come up like in the last couple of months, I would say. A lot of Gloucester talk,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah.
It's
My last thing I did before the pandemic hit was that they used to have, I think they still have, a little singer-songwriter competition thing
Yeah.
at Machaca, which
Oh,
is
okay.
this awesome like Mexican restaurant there.
Oh, you know what? I haven't taken in the singer-songwriter competition.
It was
there.
literally like February of 2020. It was like my last like public
Wow.
performance before everything.
Everybody remembers that last gig, right?
I was supposed to play at the Beat Brew Hall.
That's the one that got scrapped.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
March 12th.
Oh,
Oh, it's my birthday.
I remember that date.
yeah.
Pandemic
Well, because it's a birthday here of Jessye, but yes.
Yes. Yes. Also because of my friend's birthday.
Yeah. But
Mostly because I lost $600.
yeah, good paying gig. Oh man, yeah, I don't even want to think back.
Yeah,
about
we
those
don't need
days.
to go back
Yeah.
to all that.
There was a time.
Let's talk about the pandemic.
Yeah, I know. There was a time I couldn't get through a show without talking about the pandemic. I said there will be a day where we can
Yeah.
just move on.
There
Well,
will
that
be.
day has not come apparently.
Yeah, well, yeah, not today's not today, but oh no, I know. Okay, reset. No more COVID talk. I promise. What's the songwriting? I mean, you got a little taste of it there. Do you kind of? How do you box yourself in? Do you call yourself a? Folky, or do you go in different directions, or
I've sort of found a home in kind of like the Americana
Americana? Yeah.
space, which is, and I like that because it sort of encompasses a lot of things. There's like rock and roll in Americana, there's folk, there's country, there's blues. Americana doesn't really mean a whole lot other than just being an industry term for everything that isn't mainstream country.
Sure.
But I like the kind of freedom of all the different genres that fall under that umbrella.
And you just mentioned some big cities you guys are about to head off to. What was it again? Nashville, Memphis. Those two. I get them right. That's no casual trip. Like those are big little mini tours, huh?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do it a couple times a year.
Do you?
Yeah, we've done past couple summers. We did like a January. I teach at Berkeley, at Boco Berkeley in Boston, so I try to fit my touring into breaks from
Oh,
the
okay.
academic schedule. But
Gotcha.
yeah.
Do you? We actually just had a Berkeley kid in here who played Boston Calling.
Oh, dang.
Kieran Rhodes was his name.
Oh, I've heard of this kid.
Yeah, I think he was really great.
Yeah, he's a good piano player.
He's young too. He's
Yeah.
so young.
Yeah.
One of those, like, it happens to me a lot. Like, a lot of artists come in here and, you just talk to them and you never know what's going to come out in the singing voice. And for me, he was, you know, a nice kid, and comes in and said, wow, okay. Well, you are. But he's like the real deal. It's not like he's not genuine or anything. It just, I was just very impressed.
That's great.
And yeah, he had kind of some cool stories, and of course played Boston Calling. Did well. Nice job, Kieran.
Yeah.
We're always proud when acts here go on to play big festivals like that. But
yeah, I know. I don't know him, but I know Tori.
Okay.
Me and Jessye played a show with Tori when she first was coming up.
Oh yeah.
And like
she played Boston Calling this year.
She just played. Yeah. She just killed Boston Calling this year. She had like dancers and stuff. It's so cool.
You know, I was there all 3 days, and I didn't come across her. Now I'm sad. Damn.
Yeah, check her out. She is awesome.
Yeah,
Tori.
Like R&B, contemporary R&B.
Yeah, Tori.
Okay.
She's awesome.
Cool. I wonder what day she played. I'll have to go back and look at the schedule.
I don't remember. I was gigging that whole weekend, so I couldn't get to any Boston Calling
gigging.
stuff.
Gigging. Jessye, so would you like is it a grind at all doing the trips, or you just is it kind of invigorating to get away? It is a grind, yeah?
I mean, I really like it.
Yeah. You have to do it, right?
Yeah, and we, you know, I have yet to do like a really big, like month long. It's usually like 2 or 3 weeks out. So, it's nice. I enjoy it because it's so different from like teaching and like, you know, going to the same room every day and seeing the same people. So,
yeah. You got a room full of different people, I'd imagine, right? Probably some no injuries on set. Probably some who have never seen you before. Mostly rooms that have never seen you before. So that must be kind of cool too. Like almost like a proving ground, right?
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it's been cool because over the pandemic, sorry to bring it up again.
This is your fault. This isn't my fault today.
Back when Twitter was still a thing and was not a horrible place to be, I connected with a whole lot of other like queer and trans and BIPOC people who were making like country and Americana music on Twitter. And I think that in addition to that, I also connected with some sort of audience members in an organic way that way. And so there's a lot of people down in sort of the southeastern part of the U.S. who I wanted to get out to actually play for. So, you know, definitely people who have never seen me, but also sometimes people who have only ever kind of come across me online.
Yeah.
And it's cool to kind of get out of your regular local scene and go somewhere where people still are very like welcoming and excited to see you. So
that is great. All right, cool. Well, we wish you safe travels. We'll talk more about the rest of it in a second. You guys got another one ready to go?
Yeah.
Proud or
oh yeah, no, let's do Proud Moment.
I love that. A quick audible on song too. Jessye DeSilva in the house alongside Alex from Old Tom on guitar here. And as he tunes up, let me say thank you to my team. May Power producing the show, Sarah Hayden, the boss, Maya Gassman in the house. Maya's sister just showed up, and I saw her working. I don't know if we're paying her, but thank you, Maya's sister, for being here. I think Maya might just be taking a lunch break. And Ryan Rothberger, of course, our small but mighty team here in Newburyport. Jessye DeSilva, take it away.
quiet as a graveyard. Well-worn paths haven't been the same. Strangling vines cover where I carved my name. Aching in my back and pins and needles in my toes. Lay down, lay down, lay down, lay down, lay down. Lay down, lay down, lay down, lay down, lay down. Lay down those heavy bones you carry with you. Won't you settle down? Lay down, lay down, lay down, lay down, lay down. Lay down, lay down, lay down, lay down, lay down. Lay down those heavy bones you carry with you. Won't you settle down? Oh, lay down, lay down, lay down, lay down, lay down. Lay down, lay down, lay down, lay down, lay down. Lay down those heavy bones you carry with you. Won't you settle down?
Woo. Live at Drew's house, Jessye DeSilva alongside Alex from Old Tom. Very nice, you two. Those harmonies took some work to get down, huh? Very beautiful.
Thank you.
Nicely done. How long does this, you guys must take forever to work those things out. You guys sound great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's pretty organic. We started writing together. Wait a minute for it during the pandemic. And it's just like it's a pretty organic thing. I don't know.
So you start during the. Did you know each other before that, or?
No,
okay.
We met actually through someone I think who's going to be on your show later, through Jake McCurdy.
Oh yeah, old friend of the show. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
so Jessye beat Jake in a song contest.
Oh.
In the Gloucester Song Contest,
And Jake was like, this little beat me in a song contest. And I was
You
like,
always get one swear in there,
Oh,
don't
I
you?
said it, didn't I?
You
Oh,
always-
there she is.
He's on a streak now.
I've done one per show. Your producers must love me.
No.
Well, it's not live, so they can,
Yeah.
they can bleep it.
And
Ready, go.
yeah, and Jake was like, yeah, there's this songwriter, Jessye DeSilva, who's writing some pretty impressive stuff lately. And I messaged her online, and I was like, we should do a writing session together. And then,
Yeah.
So you-
Started out virtual, and then when we felt safe enough, we got together in person, and we kept it going on a weekly basis for a couple years. We've both gotten a little busier lately, but yeah.
So Jacob, that's a he gets beaten in a song contest and says this has to lead to something. Good for him. And you, Alex, kind of like throwing yourself in there. I know you a little bit better. You like throwing yourself in there with just writers and just kind of
Yeah.
even just picking their brains a little bit, right?
I love collaborating.
Yeah, I was like, who is this straight boy? He messaged me on Facebook and was just like, hey, do you want to write together? And at that point I hadn't done a lot of co-writing, and I was like sort of just it was a little bit more of like a scary intimate thing for me, and I was like, who is this boy? But then I listened to his stuff, and he writes beautiful stuff, and he writes a lot about like mental health stuff, which is a theme that comes up a lot in my songs as well. So I don't know. Glad he reached out.
Yeah, so it's been working for
We've
you.
had a pretty fruitful collaboration.
Are all the songs, the first two so far, are they co-songs or?
Only the second one.
The second one,
together.
yeah.
That one? Okay.
That one actually got us into Rolling Stone. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Into Rolling Stone magazine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that was on it's on an album I released last summer, and that song was in their like songs you need to know this
Rundown.
week. I think it's like a weekly thing.
Wow.
So it was on their like songs you need to know this week thing. Got some nice streams out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I can say that I was in Rolling Stone.
Yeah. Did you frame that yet on your wall? That should be there.
No, I mean, it was in this like list of songs, and I was like smack in the
That
middle.
so does not matter. We can build up the font a little bit. We can do a lot of
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
but that would be on my wall immediately. We're gonna find a way to do that for you. I think.
That was a cool thing to wake up to,
Yeah.
for sure.
I wonder what kind, because I know my Rolling Stone hard copies description. I think they're done with hard copies.
Are they?
Like just
Yeah.
just recently, there was actually like I think a news story in our newsroom in Boston because it was like, oh man, it's finally in it, because they kept doing it, you know. And I've always wondered what kind of staff they have, and to find somebody who's digging into all your music like that, you know. I know they don't have hundreds anymore like they used to.
Yeah, well, the
you
person, sadly, the person who my PR person pitched to is no longer at Rolling Stone, so that may be my last Rolling Stone. They used to have a person who was like the editor for the country stuff, and this person was a queer person, so he was really good at highlighting like queer like LGBTQ artists in country and country adjacent music.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful that he threw us in there before they.
Actually, when you first said that, I thought you were going to say he's no longer with us.
Oh, no.
So
he's very much is. He very much is, and he's still freelancing, and he still writes for them occasionally, but it was part of that, like, I guess in the last year, a bunch of music journalism outlets have kind of let go of a lot of human beings in favor of
cash.
AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cash. It's all about money.
How is the Boston, like in a very general sense? I mean, you guys are out there all the time. The LGBTQ like music scene right now, is it a welcoming place? Is it not a welcoming place? Like, what would you say?
Yeah. Well, it's weird. I've connected a lot more with queer musicians in other parts of the country. But I mean, the Boston scene is a tricky scene to begin with, and I think that the LGBTQ, like, there isn't much of like an LGBTQ music scene because musically, queer people, like all other people, are just musically on all different pages. So you know, it's not really like a genre.
Right.
You know, there's queer people making hip hop, and queer people making EDM, and queer people making country music and rock and roll, and so. Yeah, I mean, everyone that I've met in the scene is really lovely, but it's not sort of like its own kind of self-contained scene.
Sure.
It's more just like there are queer artists in the Boston scene.
Yep, makes complete sense. Again, Jessye DeSilva joining us here out of East Boston, along with Alex from Old Tom, who's been on the show. I don't know, what are you, like 5, 6, 7 times? 12 times?
Aren't you tired?
36 times.
I don't know.
I don't have to answer those questions now. But Jesse's joining us for the first time, and we're doing a bunch of original songs here today. What's what would you say is your favorite place to play? You talk a lot about the Boston scene, but is it you like staying here, or you like getting out of town and playing?
I do. Sorry, Boston, but I really like getting out of town. I mean, in the Boston scene, I love the Burr in Somerville. Tom Bianchi is a lovely person and so integral to the scene, and Joyce, who does sound there, is like the best sound person in the town, in my opinion.
It's always nice, isn't it?
I also really like Nashville, which is weird because a lot of other musicians are like, Nashville's really tough, and I'm like, I don't know, like I've had good luck in Nashville. I enjoy playing there. I usually
sold a
get
lot of tickets there.
Yeah. I wonder what they say is tough about it. Is it just because it's like the cliche, it's everywhere, and there's a million guitar players everywhere or something?
In the
like
same way that Boston's really saturated with like GB musicians.
Yeah.
Nashville's saturated with original musicians.
Yeah.
They don't have a GB scene in Nashville.
Yep.
Because the GB stuff doesn't really pay down there, so it really only opens up avenues for
You got to play your own
artists.
stuff.
And everybody down there has chops.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
But I like that about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I find it really like energizing because there's so much talent there and there's so much happening there.
Yeah.
It's way more
Outside of the mainstream stuff that, you know, like that everyone thinks is happening in Nashville, there's a lot of incredible indie pop stuff and stuff that isn't country music, and it's like, I don't know, it's a cool
even
place to
stuff
visit.
that's country adjacent.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff there that's very, it just doesn't get the same face time as like Morgan Wallen or something.
I was just going to say, you and I were laughing about him the other night in Nashville.
There's a lot to laugh about.
Be careful about the chairs being thrown off the rooftops. Yeah, let's not do that anymore.
He
You gotta look up on Broadway.
That chair.
Yeah.
He hasn't been the same. Is that true? Has he been hurt by that? Or
No.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I think like in terms of like the local government has been putting up with his.
Well, yeah, they didn't.
Yeah.
They couldn't let him put
I
a
was gonna
sign
say,
on his bar or
he's
something.
proven to us that he can get away with saying
It is
whatever he
amazing.
wants.
I mean, that guy has more. I don't know. I think I've said I don't usually speak too negatively about artists, but I'm not like a fan. That's not negative. I don't care. It's not my thing.
He's not a nice person. He uses really awful language.
But just as an outsider, it just does seem like he's got quite a few strikes. That's all.
Yeah, he's got the confidence and luck of a straight white man.
Yeah.
In country music at that.
Yeah,
So
I was going to say, he's in the perfect
Yeah.
ecosystem for him to be able to do and say these awful things that he says and get away with.
I don't.
You did a good job reining him in there. We saw you going.
He's not a nice man.
Yeah, but you don't want to like mess with their radio audience.
We're fine. We can talk about Morgan Wallen. I hear he hasn't been. He's been not picking up our phone calls, so he's not coming on anytime soon.
When he comes on, we can talk.
I'm not a Morgan Wallen apologist. I just want to say that.
No, very
I'm just
well
trying
said.
to play by the radio rules here.
When he comes on, I'll work it out with him.
Great.
I didn't like the chair throwing thing,
Yeah.
and I got a few other things to talk about with you too.
We got a couple things to talk about with Morgan.
Yeah, there's a few things.
There's
Yeah.
a couple things.
And no, never mind. We'll get off it. Pandemic and Morgan Wallen, we're done.
Yep. No more. I'm just trying to make sure I don't have any more pandemic stories.
Well, you know what though, the pandemic thing, it is the reason why I think it creeps through is just, I mean, it was such a big part of our lives.
Yes.
You know.
I think we're going to keep feeling the
Yeah.
effects socially for a long, long time.
Yeah. I mean, I even think about just looking around this town. We're here in Newburyport. I was just driving through today, and I was here a little early, so I'm just kind of was doing a drive and went and got some coffee and took a little walk around. And I was thinking, oh, yeah, remember that place that kind of closed down because of the pandemic? It's something else now. And it feels like it's been there forever, but it wasn't. It was just like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That place was something else. And
Yeah.
it didn't.
We just graduated our first class at Berkeley of people who started as freshmen online. So like
Yeah, that's right.
our like pandemic babies finally graduated, which felt really strange because
Yeah.
again, like it feels like longer than 4 years ago, but also it feels like yesterday. It was very strange.
You know, I had the athletic director of Newburyport in the other day, and he was talking about this group of seniors is maybe not coincidentally a great group of leaders. And he thinks they just, they just went through some hard times, and that class kind of had to suck up a lot of stuff and miss a lot of things, school dances, proms, as did the groups, never mind missing the graduations if you were older than them. But they grew into be very good leaders, and I think maybe less taking for granted of just the everyday
Well, I hope
things that come with school life.
if it taught us anything, it was like empathy.
That's nice.
I hope.
Yeah. On that
We're
note,
still out on that.
on that note, let's go into another song. I hope. Is it a song about empathy?
No, this is a cool song.
No, this is a new song that hasn't been recorded yet, but we can talk about that after.
You can intro it if you want. You can do whatever you want.
You wanna talk
Great.
about it?
This is a new song. It's called Comrades in Arms. This was written when I was reflecting on my time as a kid, interestingly, as a high school kid growing up in the late 90s, queer, and being able to find my people, my goth punk theater kid weirdos. Yeah.
All right, lovely. Jessye DeSilva, Alex from Old Tom. Take it away. Woo! Very nice. Jessye DeSilva.
Yeah.
Jessye DeSilva, Alex from Old Tom, and a little jazzy beginning. Yes.
Yeah, we like.
Was that an ad-lib or you're
Just you know,
Yeah, totally intentional, right?
definitely intentional. Just thrown in an E flat.
very nice.
Yeah, why not?
It was a choice.
Yeah.
Big voice there, Jessye.
Thanks.
Outstanding. The have you been singing your whole life? Is it something you're
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I grew up singing in church.
singing in church? I get that a lot in here. A lot of
Yeah.
people sing in church.
You know, it's the one part of it almost makes the religious trauma worth it.
You have a lot of good one-liners. You set you up for a lot of good ones here today. This is good. But you enjoyed singing in the church.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a place where I could be creative, and no one would ask any questions, you know?
Yeah.
Like, for someone who is growing up reckoning with gender identity and sexuality and stuff, you know, everyone would just be like, "Oh, great! Like for the Lord," you know.
Yeah.
So, and I learned a lot about how to sort of like capture whatever the moment was and make music out of that, which is, I think, a lot of what happens in like worship and things. So, yeah, I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Is church, was it mostly like playing with an organist at the time, or?
Yeah, I learned how to play piano in church. I used to play it for the hymns and the praise music, and yeah.
That for me, that was, I'm with you. The church thing, I never liked it. I like it a lot less as I've gotten older.
Yeah.
I'm not a religious person, but I do, when I think back to church days, that was the only part I used to really like. I never connected with like the stories or priests or anything, but I did like the music when we'd go in.
Yeah, music
and that could
is a big part of it.
Yeah, I could be caught by that sometimes, and
yeah,
That's how they trick you.
yeah.
oh man, we are really covering it today. Pandemic, Morgan Wallen, and religion. Here we go.
Look, I just want it to be known that I'm not saying any of the controversial stuff.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Jessye wanted to talk about Palestine.
Oh my God, don't.
Feel free.
I mean, free Palestine.
Yeah.
It is. I can't even.
say
What did you say earlier? The badness or the horribleness of X now. I can't.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the stuff I see, I can't even. I had to put it down the other night because some of the images are just.
I don't even
horrific.
go on there anymore.
Yeah.
There's nothing positive.
You know,
Yeah,
you know what's
it's a rough
terrible?
place to
Like,
be.
I'm a news person too.
Yeah.
Like, first, I'm in the
Yeah.
newsroom in Boston, and like that used to be, and still is in so many ways. Like, if you're a reporter, you have to be connected there.
Yeah.
You know.
You do. Well, it's similar to how Jessye and I will never be off social media.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Isn't that a weird feeling?
You just kind of have to.
It bothers me, but it's one of those things. Like, as a musician, you can't thrive without
Right.
that piece of your marketing.
Yeah.
It's just so it's the only free marketing we get.
You know what I saw right before I came in here? There's this band, and I don't even follow the band, but they had like 70,000 followers or something. They're big somewhere. I did not heard of them, but they've clearly made.
Sorry. I don't know why I'm laughing.
Yeah. Well, I won't say the band name, so
Somebody
nobody's offended. But they had like 70,000 followers or something, which is, for me,
more
it's
than
a
I-
huge number, you know?
Substantial.
And they've obviously made a lot of inroads and have good music. And he must have known the call was coming because he recorded, which may or may not be legal, now that I think about it, but he recorded the call of the record exec, and one of his buddies was filming him take it on speakerphone. And the record exec said, "We really love your music. Like, it's got some real potential. Like, it's good stuff there. It's like we really like the album as a full, but there's some really good singles." Said, unfortunately, as far as jumping on our team, we don't bring on bands without 150,000 followers.
I think I saw that.
Did you see this? Like, and I had to look. I was like, "This is a real band. Like, this is a real moment. Like, is that actually happening out there in the world?" And that was scary.
Yeah, Julia showed me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really terrifying.
It's rough out there.
Should we all take a minute to just breathe after that?
It's rough out there.
Yeah, that was not good. But it is. That's the world, right?
We got a small but mighty fan base.
Yeah. I mean, I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I just crowdfunded for my next album, and it can be really defeating to kind of do that. I mean, I think when it all works out, it's like great because it's like, oh yeah, these people rallied and they believe in me and they gave me money and blah blah blah.
Crowdfunding can be defeating.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay,
but I mean, I think even just in general, social media is so defeating because it feels like, I don't know about the people you're talking about, but like I'm in this to try and make like genuine connections with human beings, and you do that and it feels great, but then like you're comparing it against like the numbers that you don't have, and that's like the only language that I think a lot of record execs understand or followers.
Even that stuff is so fake, though. Like, if for $100 I can buy 100,000 followers.
True.
I get that ad all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I don't care nearly enough, but
No.
Yeah.
you know,
That stuff is tough.
Anyway.
yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting world. I'll get my head around it in like 25 years or something.
When there's some other thing.
Exactly.
say.
That's the other thing. There's always another thing.
Yeah.
The new social media platform comes in, and
Yep.
a new generation of people comes in to be viral on that because they catch on at the right time. It's just the cycle of things, and
Yep.
yeah.
Is it is Instagram the one you guys kind of primarily focus on?
Yeah, I think that's
Jesse's got a
my
good TikTok presence.
TikTok.
no. It's
You
not
put
really.
time into it.
I mean, I put time into TikTok, but it hasn't paid off in terms of followers.
But TikTok, the kids have told me that it's not exactly a follower-driven thing. Like Instagram tends to be people like you, they follow you for your content. TikTok's more like, oh, I like that video, I want to see more like this.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, I think TikTok to me is I was just starting to get a handle on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then TikTok became the thing. And, I'm on it because we all have to be.
Sure.
But, I think Instagram's probably the one that I'm
Well, even the high school kids that come in here, they are almost every one of them has Instagram. They laugh at me when I used to say Twitter. They would be like, oh, well, you're a little bit older than us there. I'm like, I'm 35. What are you talking about? And,
You've aged yourself.
But for them, none of them had it.
Yeah.
They all had Instagram. So it seems like that to me is the one that's kind of...
Yeah.
Instagram is definitely...
I would say it's the one where there's the most overlap.
Yeah.
There's like
Facebookers
people older than us.
Some of the Facebookers.
People younger than us. Like, yeah.
Facebook is pretty minimal these days.
I think Facebook's going to come back. I think we're almost at the point where Facebook is like retro now.
Well, people don't actually leave it. They just kind of walk away.
Well, that's what I mean. I think at some point people...
You're never leaving.
I think at some point, though, it's because people don't leave it, we're all going to like just start, like when like X finally falls apart, thanks Elon, and TikTok is banned by the government or whatever, I think we're all gonna like congregate back on Facebook. I don't know. I don't know if it's hope. I don't know if I really want Facebook to come back, but I think it will.
It's funny to see how like my parents are now on Facebook in the last several years, and like all my friends' parents are on Facebook, and they all talk to each other on Facebook now. And like when Facebook started for me, it was all my friends in college, and that was cool. Now it's like, wait, all the parents are on there? When did that happen? And then, you know what I mean?
I remember when my weird aunt, who is no longer with us, may she rest in peace, got on Facebook, and I would get these like messages on, like not messages, I would get posts on my wall that were like, "Dear Jessye, this is Aunt Willa." You know, even though you could see her face. I miss those days. I miss when like the olds really like discovered Facebook. That was fun.
People who call it like the Facebook.
Yeah.
That was the original name, right?
I don't know. I yearn for a generation of people who just put the in front of things like email.
I think if I remember correctly, Facebook was the Facebook, and I believe it was the guy. I think I might be getting this actually from that Facebook movie.
One of the
the guy from Napster, who became friends with Zuckerberg, and had success with Napster, but that was a quick life. And said they became friends or whatever, working people, collaborators. And he goes, "You have the Facebook. You have Facebook." And he said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "No the." And like that was it. Unless they lied, that's definitely in the movie. Like unless they lied about that in the movie, I remember that scene.
It was never the Napster.
Yeah, and I do think I remember it being the Facebook it was a Harvard thing, right? Facebook. I think that's
It was
I think that's it. At Harvard, it was the
like
Facebook.
a college thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Somebody fact check me on that. All our listeners out there, go run in here and make fun of me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I remember my freshman year in college in 2007 getting my Facebook account.
Yep.
It was really important.
Yeah, it's important.
And we'll get back to
We sound so old right now.
Alex is feeling excited about this. As a status.
Those when you used to say, yeah.
Well, there's a whole generation of kids that don't remember AIM. Remember AIM?
I got my first flirts in on
ASL?
Oh, no doubt. If you're ever having a tough high school relationship, you leave a mean lyric.
Yeah.
Oh, away messages.
Yeah, remember away messages?
They have those on Instagram sort of now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like if you go in the Instagram DMs, you can put up they don't call them away messages, but you can post like a thing that shows up. Yeah, anyway. It's basically away messages.
A note.
Yeah, I think it is. I think that's
a note. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. See, we're learning here today, too. This is good. Again, Jessye DeSilva joining us, Boston, out of East Boston, musician. Where can people find you as far as information, like tour schedules? You good with one place in particular? Or drop your socials, do whatever.
Instagram is good, and Instagram has like that little link thing where you can find all the other links.
So go there. What's the handle?
It's at Jessye D Music, and it's spelled Jessye D Music.
Okay, there you go. So if you want to go see Jessye live or album, how do you do the where can people find your music sort of thing?
On all the
platforms, all the things.
Spotify and
Apple Music.
Apple Music,
way better than Spotify.
Yeah, Tidal.
That guy got in trouble the other day. Did you see that one?
No.
He was just talking.
The Spotify guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The cost of making content is almost nothing.
Almost nothing. And he's got a whole, never mind what, the bigger thing, like, well, maybe you should pay musicians, yada, yada. He's got a whole team of workers that are like, I'm sorry, the cost of this is what? Like, I believe I'm coming to work every day trying to put a thing together for you.
Also, like, when has he ever had to, like, crowdfund to make an album? Also, it's not content, it's called music.
Yeah.
But,
needless to say, he apologized very quickly.
Yeah, it's easy to simplify things when you're coming from such a place of power.
Yeah. Well, they have a problem. Those bosses sometimes talk a lot, and not my boss, Sarah Hayden. Saw you walk in earlier.
We love our bosses.
Hope you're doing well. And our small but mighty team in Newburyport. Maeve Power producing the show. Maya Gaspin and Ryan Rothberg. All right. Final few moments. I know you guys are going to play us out with one. Anything you guys want to add? Jessye, I know it's the first time on the show, so did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, super fun.
It's fun, right? Nice, casual.
I've never actually done a radio. No, I've done one radio show. That's true.
Yeah, it was not as good as this one.
No, totally not.
No, you had good questions, Drew.
I try. Yeah, I have a lot of notes, so I don't have any notes.
You have a sticky pad in front of you.
Yeah, well, I do that for. You know why I do that? Because I had like a group in here one time. I almost actually thought it was you guys when I had 4, but no, it was a group of another 4, and I knew them all. And I learned if you're on the radio, that's the one thing you want to make sure you have is like names, because no matter, like, you just know so many people, and like when you're on. And that was a live show. Like when you're on live, like just things can just escape you, and just you can be looking at somebody that you know, and it's just a brain cramp. And so I always do names, and that's all I have. I just want to make sure I get the names right.
I'm so bad with names.
Say whatever you want about me, just get my name right. Isn't that the same?
True.
Oh man! All right, well, you guys gonna play us out with one? You want to intro this one, or you want to?
I just released a remix of this song. For Pride Month, but we're going to do the stripped down version. It's called Firecracker.
All right, Jessye, it was a pleasure to have you on. Thank you for doing it, and we will have you on here again. You're locked into a second one now because we're big fans here.
That's fine.
thanks for the time. We appreciate it. Jessye DeSilva, Alex from Old Tom taking us home. Thanks to our team. This has been live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive.
Used to stomp around wearing my mother's high-heeled shoes, smudge myself in war paint, fuchsia pink. I learned to strike them down with something quiet and intense. Now tell me, little boy, what can you do? I'm not a pansy, I am no shrinking violet. I will not pander to the whims of your disdain. All of your anger and all your self-loathing rage cannot withstand the multitudes that I contain. Come at me with your anger, come at me with your slander. I'm a little firecracker, and I'll be standing when your rage crumbles to dust. There's just a razor line from fascination to disgust, and words like poison arrows find their mark. Before you learn to kill the thing the world won't let you have, where was the part of you used to trust? I'm not a pansy, I am no shrinking violet. I will not pander to the whims of your disdain. All of your anger and all your self-loathing rage cannot withstand the multitudes that I contain. Oh, come at me with your anger, come at me with your slander. I'm a little firecracker, and I'll be standing when your rage crumbles to dust. Now I can be a sort of a flight risk, a bit of a spender with my trust, but I'm a symphony of color, sound, and light. A little too sentimental, a bleeding heart if you must, but if you cross me, I am not above a fight. Come at me with your anger, I'll be standing when your rage crawls